Welcome race fans here to the Infineon Raceway for race number 16 of the 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season, as we are getting ready for the Toyota SaveMart 350, a 12-lap race on the first road course race of 2016 from the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. I'm Rick Burton here in the broadcast booth, hitting with full coverage of today's 12-lap race at Infineon Raceway, and we have the number 77 of Clint Bowyer on the pole, his first pole of the year, and his first pole here at Sonoma. On the outside, the number 1, Lexus Chevrolet, Jamie McMurray in the number 1. On row number 2, we have the 41 of Kurt Busch and the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. Casey Kane and Tony Stewart will round out your top 6, and as you look at your top 6, 5 of those drivers have won a race here. At Sonoma, the only one who hasn't, Jamie McMurray in the number 1. Your most recent winner in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is Joey Logano, who took home the checker flag last weekend at Michigan, scoring his second win of the year and locking himself a spot into the playoffs for 2016. Yesterday, you saw Ben Rhodes pick up his first career Truck Series win in Canada at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Friday night, you saw Daniel Suarez pick up his third career win at Chicago. Who will it be today here at Sonoma? We'll find out, but first, let's get you down track side and get you to command to fire up the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines are fired, the drivers are ready, the fans are getting ready for a great show here at the Infineon Raceway. Clint Bowyer and Jamie McMurray, your front row, Kurt Busch and Martin Truex Jr. on row number 2. At the top of your screen, your starting grid rolling across the screen. And will Bowyer, McMurray, or Truex, or even Tony Stewart grab their first win of the year? We'll find out later on. Let's go back and get a few spotlights on some of our drivers in the field, beginning with the driver of the number 32 Go Fast Racing Ford, being driven by the road course ringer Boris Said behind the wheel. And the 711 Ford Fusion for Go Fast Racing, Boris Said behind the wheel. Further back in the pack, you have the number 98 being driven by Jason Bowles, the former NASCAR Canyon West Series champion in the field. He'll roll off in 38th place. Landon Castle will complete the field of 43. We had a total of 44 entries, but the number 40 team of Tommy Drizzy did not qualify for the race. So Clint Bowyer and Jamie McMurray, two drivers who are looking for their first win of the year. Bowyer is not even on the chase grid. He's outside the top 16 in points. But a win today could change everything for Clint Bowyer. McMurray in second. On the outside lane, Kurt Busch and Martin Truex. Go back to the 18 of Kyle Busch. He won this race 1 year ago. First of many wins after what was an incredible comeback from an injury sustained in a Xfinity race at Daytona. Great qualifying run by a few guys. Casey Mears up inside the top 15. In the number 13, we have Michael McDowell in the number 95. Row 6. Justin Allgaier, Matty Benedetto, top 25 qualifying runs for those guys as well. And we have a few good drivers, a lot of good drivers back here. You have Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski, Matt Kenseth, starting deep in the field outside the top 25. The pace car about to hit pit lane, and Clint Bowyer and Jamie McMurray, your front row, coming through the final corner. Who will grab their first win, or who will grab a win today? And they're getting a little bit stacked up here. Bowyer trying to get back in where he's supposed to be. A little bit of a stack up, but as we come down to the green flag, and we are underway here from Infineon Raceway. Clint Bowyer and Jamie McMurray leads us down to the green flag. And a pretty good job there by the 41 on Kurt Busch. He may get second away from the 1 of McMurray. Down in the turn number 1 they go. 3 wide, Michael McDowell in the middle, or that's Regan Smith now in the middle, and the 3 wide back here again. We stay green for the first couple of corners. And I apologize for the lagging as Johnson goes through the grass, and I'm trying to get to the front, but it's kind of lagging a little bit. but Clint Boyer, McMurray, and Kurt Busch, Casey Kane, and Truex. But now to battle for 5th place, here comes that 47 of Allmendinger. Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, Ryan Vickers, and Joey Logano, your top 10. As they come through the S's, Casey Mears, McDowell, a great run at number 95 car. Regan Smith, Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Larson, Dale Jr., Elliott Menard, and Denny Hamlin, the top 20. As coming down into the final turn, turn number 11. And Kurt Busch right on the back bumper of the number 1 of McMurray. And we stay green for the first lap here at Infineon until we have the 31 of Ryan Newman around. Ryan Newman in the 31, a lot of contact, and he's now been teleported to pit road. The Caterpillar Chevrolet, Ryan Newman damaged, and he's on pit road, but we stay green, and we have a battle for 2nd place, or we had a battle. Kurt Busch not able to get around McMurray. But now here comes that 5 of Casey Kane, your winner from Atlanta earlier this year, looking for that 2nd win. Same with Kurt Busch, a 2nd win today would be huge for Casey Kane. And Kurt Busch already has 2 wins, he'd be looking for win number 3 in 2016. And Boyer driving away from McMurray. And now inside the top 5 is AJ Allmendinger. This is the guy who knows that this will probably be his best shot to win to make the chase, is to win here at Infineon, or even better, Watkins Glen, the track where he got his first career win at. Matty Benedetto on the inside of the veteran driver Greg Biffle. That's the big, you know, we all know Biffle's not really the best road course racer. Into Benedetto, battling along with the number 16 is Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, David Gilliland making his first start in quite a while. You know, he left Front Row Motorsports earlier in the year, has joined BK Racing for a couple of races. He'll be in his car again next weekend at Daytona for the Cook 0400. Right now running in the 29th place, battling along with Eric Almirola and Austin Dillon. Matt Kenseth all the way back here in 31st. Right now we're struggling. And right now Boyer is driving away from McMurray right now. Last time by, Boyer was over a second quicker. And the first battle on track would be, oh wait, do we have a, no we don't. First battle on track would really be back here for the 20th spot. Elliott Sadler and Justin Allgaier battling for that 20th place in this 19 of Carl Edwards, who wrecked in this race 1 year ago, the number 19 car. Now Edwards trying to pass Sadler on the outside line, and that's a pretty good pass for the 19 to get around that number 9 to get inside the top 21. Now he's going to try to get in the top 20 by getting around that 51 of Allgaier, but here comes Sadler back on the inside, but doesn't really have enough momentum to make it work. Then you have Denny Hamlin back here on the inside of Greg Biffle. 23rd place battle on track. Ryan Blaney, Matty Benedetto, Brad Keselowski. David Reagan now moving by the 32 of Boris Said. Michael Annett, Alex Bowman, Dakota Armstrong, and Jason Bowles. Moffitt and Landon Castle. Now whenever we can get a chance, we're going to go and find what happened to Ryan Newman on the first lap in the final corner, which has sent Ryan Newman behind the wall, done for the day. And that's a fairly clean race right now, but that could very well change with the caution. And now Casey Kane all on the back bumper. Kurt Busch now, as you saw, Kane looks like he had his car to the inside of Kurt Busch. You can tell Kane is quicker than that 41. Down here in the final corner, one little slip up of that 41 and Kurt Busch and Kane will be right there to pounce. I tell you what though, Clint Boyer has checked out. This time by was a 1 minute or 1:12.958 to McMurray's 1:13.411. That one car, either he's just holding up Kurt Busch or, well, but he is just. And oh, here comes that 41. He had a great turn on the outside. He got a great run on the outside lane in that corner. And like Canada yesterday in the truck race, I'm not familiar with the corners like I am. And Kurt Busch makes the pass on the outside lane. Does he have anything for Clint Boyer? Now that may have been what Boyer did not want to see. That 41 may have something for that number 77. Remember, go back to 2012. Boyer driving for MWR. Kurt Busch driving for Phoenix Racing. And remember that these two guys battling for that win. Tony Stewart having a great run inside the top 10. Kevin Harvick, Logano, and Brian Vickers. Right outside the top 10, how about Casey Mears? He's had a rough 2016 season and is number 13 for Germain Racing. Regan Smith having a good run right now. Michael McDowell, 13th, with this number 95 Levine Family Racing Chevrolet. A team that's gotten an alliance going on with RCR and running very well. And McDowell's a very good road course racer. Jimmy Johnson and defending Sonoma winner Kyle Busch. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Paul Menard, Dale Jr., and Justin Allgaier. Carl Edwards, Elliott Sadler, Greg Biffle, Hamlin, and Blaney, your top 25. We are already past the halfway point in this race. Now, Kurt Busch has already driven away from McMurray, and can he chase down that number 77 of Boyer? Casey Kane still now, he looks like he used to bumper on McMurray. Coming down through the S's. See, you can tell Kane's quicker, just can't get around him. This is not an easy track to pass on, by no means. And then there's some corners that are easier than others. And you saw Kane had an opening to the inside, just could not get enough momentum to get alongside that number 1. And we're going to see if Kurt Busch, has closed any on Clint Boyer's lead. It was 2.7 seconds, last time by. That included Kurt Busch passing McMurray. 2.6, so Kurt Busch did chop into Boyer's lead, but only about a tenth though, so that's not really going to get it done, because we only have 6 laps remaining, and now Casey Kane to the outside. No, he's not. AJ Allmendinger right now running inside the top 5. And you can tell that some of these guys who started outside the top 10, they're just having trouble trying to make some ground. You know, they were all hoping for a caution. They did not want to beat a caution. That way they can all get bunched up together again, but really don't see happening. Kurt Busch, last time by, he ran his fastest lap of the race. So once you get around that one on McMurray, this is the guy you might need to look at or pay attention to, because he could run Boyer down should Boyer make a mistake. Now, it was 2.6 seconds last time by between the top 2, and we're going to see Boyer, or Kurt Busch, has chopped into Boyer's lead anymore. No, Boyer pulled away. Boyer was quicker, and he pulled away from Kurt Busch. Throughout the top 10 right now, I mean, it's really single file throughout most of the field. Then you have that 23 of David Gilliland back here, getting around that 3 of Austin Dillon. Gilliland right now running inside the top 30 and 20th, and his teammate Matty Benedetto right now ahead of him in 26. About to get shoved out the way with that 2 of Brad Keselowski. Then we have Matt Kenseth all the way back here in 33rd. This number 20 car has really struggled all weekend long, racing against Ricky Brian Scott, making his first ever Cup start here at Infineon. Michael Annett, Boris Sid, Alex Bowman, Dakota Armstrong, and Jason Bowles, Moffitt, and Castle. Now, since nothing's really going on, we're going to go back and see what happened to Ryan Newman earlier in the race that sent Newman behind the wall. Okay, Newman almost made it 1 lap, but right before we get to the final corner, he's going to get turned with the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Newman hits the tire barrier wall and slides down the track, and we're going to see if we can get a little better view on Newman's car hitting the wall. Yeah, you can tell that was a hard impact. Passenger side. Luckily he wasn't driver's side, but you can hear Newman unable to crank that car back up and teleported to pit road. And his day is over. He will finish 43rd. Newman also doesn't even have a win. So Newman really needs to make something happen if he wants to make the chase. We're only 10 races away, or 11 races away from the chase. Be 10 races after today at Infineon. Has Almirola, Trevor Bayne, Stenhouse, and McKenzie is still losing spots. You just got to pass around David Reagan in that 55. Austin Dillon on the back bumper of Denny Hamlin. Thought I heard a car spinning around, but I believe I was wrong. It's still 2.6 seconds between Clint Bowyer and Kurt Busch. 77 and 41. Right now, Bowyer won this race 4 years ago, and a win today could put Bowyer in the chase. Bowyer, he'll be replacing Tony Stewart next year in the number 14, as Stewart will be retiring. The seat will be filled by Eric Jones, who will be moving up to the Cup Series in 2017. Jones will replace Bowyer in this ride, and Freightliner is supposed to be the, most likely will be the sponsor on this car next year. And you talk about Bowyer's situation right now, it's kind of like Casey Kane back in 2011. You know, in 2010 it was announced that Kane would join Hendrick in 2012, but he needed a ride for 2011. He joined Red Bull Racing for 1 year, and it's kind of the same thing with Bowyer. Announced last year that he'll be moving to Stewart Haas in 2016 or 2017, but he needed a ride for this season after leaving the MWR, and he joined Furniture Row Racing for 1 year, a 2-car team, and he's had a pretty solid year, just not really as great as his teammate Martin Truex. And Casey Kane has still have not gotten around McMurray for that 3rd spot, and you can tell that McMurray is really holding up all these guys back here, but it's just so hard to make a pass. Rules package, I mean, they're all single file. They just can't really make nothing happen. I'll be coming to the white flag next time by for Clint Bowyer. And we have a caution though. Of all the times in this race where we could have a caution, it's right with 2 to go where we won't be able to go back green. We are under yellow here at Infineon, and that will send us overtime for the 3rd straight time this weekend. We are under yellow, and maybe include the number 26 in the 98, Dakota Armstrong and Jason Bowles. So Bowyer was so close to getting that white flag, but that will put us under yellow, and this will be a 1-lap dash. We've just been told by NASCAR. Armstrong and Jason Bowles, Dakota making the first start here at Infineon in the Cup Series. And let's go back and see what happened to the 98 and the number 26. And back here around 39th and 40th. And Bowles, it appears that Jason maybe overdrove the corner a little bit and just got into the 26, and that brought out the caution. So now, what's going to happen is we will have a 1-lap dash under green. Clint Bowyer and Kurt Busch, Jamie McMurray, Casey Kane, and AJ Allmendinger, Martin Truex, Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, and Brian Vickers, your top 10. We'll be right back with the final restart. Okay, we are going green. This time it'll be a 1-lap shootout between Clint Bowyer, Kurt Busch, 42 cars on track, Ryan Newman behind the wall, and we're going to have a 1-lap dash. So we'll take the green flag, but it will also be the white flag, and then it is on from there. And Truex not getting where he's supposed to be. This is like a glitch with the track. I'm not sure why they keep doing this, but who cares? As we're kind of coming down to the green flag, we're back underway. And a pretty good jump by that 41 of Kurt Busch. Can he hang with the number 77 of Clint Bowyer? Here comes Kurt Busch on the inside lane of Clint Bowyer. Bowyer, he'll have the preferred line coming up in here, but Busch hangs tough on the outside lane. Busch got a little bit sideways. Here comes that 5 of Casey Kane, and Bowyer clears Busch. Bowyer in the lead. Busch second, Kane third, McMurray and Allmendinger. And we have the number 6 of Trevor Bayne wrecked back here, and he's off pace in the grass. Kurt Busch, Casey Kane, Jamie McMurray, and the 4 of Kevin Harvick, AJ Allmendinger, Martin Truex, Tony Stewart, Brian Vickers, and how about Regan Smith now? Up here trying to get a top 10 run for Stewart Haas Racing, Logano, Mears, Johnson, Larson, and McDowell. Coming into the final corner. It'll be his first win of the year. The first win for Furniture Racing. Clint Bowyer grabs his second win at Infineon. Bowyer wins at Sonoma. And Kurt Busch, second place. Solid day for the number 41, and Casey Kane grabs the third. Jamie McMurray, a great points day for the 1. And sneaking to a top 5 run, Kevin Harvick, AJ Allmendinger, Martin Truex, Tony Stewart, Brian Vickers, and Regan Smith. A lot of guys who needed the top 10 like Stewart and Vickers and Regan Smith. Great day for Casey Mears. He is 12th. Michael McDowell 15th. Kind of a boring race. I do want to apologize for the boring race we've seen today, but you know, it happens. And they're actually showing few guys 1 lap down. Yeah, they're showing a few, of course, a lap down. I'm looking at it, but it might be another glitch or something. But you know, real courses in NO 2003 is a lot of has a lot of tricky bugs that are never fixed. But that will wrap up the weekend here at Infineon. Clint Bowyer grabs his first win of the year and becomes the 11th driver to grab a win in 2016, meaning that only 5 spots are now open to make the chase on points, and we have 10 races remain until we will hit the playoffs, beginning at Chicagoland. On your screen now, your results and your points, your chase grid after race number 16 of the year. Next weekend, we'll be live from the World Center Racing Daytona. The track they got this season started, the Daytona International Speedway, for the Coke 0400 on Saturday night. On Friday night, the Subway, or whatever the name is, I believe it's the Subway Firecracker 250. We're going to have to look at that, but Xfinity race at Daytona and the Cup race. Until then, congrats to Clint Bowyer on his first win of the year, and we'll see you next weekend at Daytona.